Okay, here we're going to go through the hierarchy of what we've seen develop so far. Here we have the tetrahedron, which is 4 locations, right? And we added 1 location, came up with the duotet with its new vector 2/3 the square root of 6. We added 1 more point or location, and we came up with the octahedron. Okay, and then 1 more point gives us the the pentagonal decagon, 10-sided. That's 7 points. And then we came up with the next one, which is the octet star, which is 8. Okay, and then of course the included cube that goes over, that connects these points. Okay, then in the organic side, we started with the we had the tetrahedron, and then we had the octet star, the tetrastar, sorry, and then we connected these points to make the tetradodecahedron, okay, which comes out to have, this is also an 8-pointed thing because we were adding a point on the face here, 8 locations. So now that's and then of course here's the tetrahelix, and if this is if this is frequency 6, then this is frequency 10, and in here would be frequency 9 square root of 96 across here. This is along here the square root of 54, and this little bit in here is the square root of 6. All of this is, these geometries and values are self-generating and specific, and have rational conceptual existence and names. Okay, so now there's another form that we haven't discussed up until now that's built into all of this, actually this is all of the geometry necessary for the isosahedron is built into this, and this is the isosahedron which self-constructs anyway, right? That it becomes stable as soon as every vector is in place. It becomes an actual structure. You take any vectors out, and even one vector, and the whole thing loses its integrity, right? We're going to take out all 6 of these vectors here. And we're going to be able to demonstrate to you another form which geometry calls a cube octahedron. I think you can probably see it pretty well here, that the cube octahedron is also, Buckminster Fuller calls it the vector equilibrium. It has 12 points and 14 faces in this form. But as we made it into an isosahedron, it was about like this, right? So if we add these vectors in, we get the isosahedron right at this stage, okay? And then if we keep going down, 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 we form the octahedron. And this is, you can see that the vectors are dual, right, in the octahedron here. And there it is. So that's what we've been trying to tell you, the implication of the octahedron always being dual. Now, we go take this thing this way. Okay. There we go. Okay, now we have the isosahedron again, but it's quadrupled, that the vectors, the 24 vectors are quadrupled. This gives you some conceptual rationality for how the conceptual capacity for this form to form, that there's the potential for explosion of the into this form, but that's the end of it. I mean, there's no more transformation possible, right? Except for connecting these vectors, which gives us the tetrahedral dodecahedron, right? Which is a conceptually finished entity, because we can't implode it. We can add on more tetrahedrons. If there were these tetrahedrons could be interpenetrated types like this one, or they could just be in a tetrahedral helix. But the helix is an additive conception, that the energy has to come from somewhere else in the system. Here's the tetrahelix kind of filled out geometrically, and it obeys all the rules, and it's just as elegant as any of the as the matrix, as the octet matrix. It just has its own elegance. If this is 6, then this is 10, and this is across here the square root of 96, and then between here and here is the square root of 54. In the middle here is the square root of 6. There's all kinds of possibilities of information, but all of it is always completely rational whole number manifestations that they're self-generating and self-organizing. So those are all the forms. I mean, that's all we're dealing with, and all of this is you can hold all of this in your mind. I mean, and this is the whole picture, and I'm going to show you very soon and some incredible things about this. How simplified it becomes when you look at it from another angle, which I'm going to show you. But you have to at least be exposed to this and understand this before you can see what I call the click-stop nature of the self-construction. Here's our octet matrix. That's a nice little fluorite crystal. And here's our tetrastar, tetrahelix, organic reality, right? That's it.